what's up? Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good?
Oh, so I got something this is kind of a two-part question. One of the things I hear you often talk about is I'm listening to you like you understand who you are as a trader, right? And I think sometimes people can get lost in that. Like they can listen to so many different people and they never anchor to who they are as a trader. So I hear you always talk about your trading identity. That's what I like to call it, or your investor identity. Can you talk about that for a second?
Okay, 100%. So what ended up happening with the internet and with the last couple of years in the marketplace, everybody thinks this is a get-rich-quick scheme. Everybody wants the quick fix. I have people who call me and go, so what, on social media, on DM, what stock should I buy, right? And I can't recommend stocks. I can't recommend investing. That's not what I do. What I want to do is I want to give you a toolbox, fill it with tools, right? So that you can make the decisions yourself. That's one of the great things about this game, which you guys have figured out too. You've gotten your toolboxes, you've filled them with tools, right? And then you teach people what to do it. You don't tell, that's a very quick fix, right? You know that old thing, if you're hungry, I can give you a fish, or I can teach you how to fish. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's the name of the game here. So if you want me to tell you that Alibaba is going up because things in China are different, you want to make a quick $100, that's not me. That's not who I am. There are 100 people out there in the naked city. You can pay them $7.99 a month. They'll give you all the stock picks you want. When you're buying it, they're selling it. It's classic pump and dump. And some people, I don't want to hear your education shit. I don't want to spend time learning and investing in me as a student of the market. I want to make $100. I said, how short-sighted is that? How silly is that? We have this amazing thing. First of all, it's the most wild branding, advertising mecca in the world. It is an opportunity that any Tom, Dick, or Harry can go out there and make some money and learn the game, right? You can create, you guys. You guys are changing the world one trader at a time, teaching them how to invest in themselves and create generational wealth for their family. Change the narrative, right? Disrupt the shit, right? If I just tell you to go buy Shopify because I have inside information, you're going to buy it. You probably won't sell it when you should. Yeah. And then you're going to call me, you gave me bad info. Yeah. But if I tell you how to understand when Shopify will be a good buy, then you're going to call me and go, hey, Einstein, I think Shopify's a good buy here. That's what I want. Yeah. I want that give back to me. You learn. I have people who call me and David Green who come in our course. We do a live Q&A with all our students. We don't just sell you a course. We do a live Q&A. We mentor you, coach you for life. Because this isn't easy shit, right? You're very easily going to go back to your own path, right? Oh, yeah, it was good. I'm going back to mine, and you lose all your friggin' money. Yeah. We have people who came to us who were losing money. I had a guy 2 weeks ago. I'm going to say his name is Robert Shapiro. He met us through an Irish kid. He met us through Option Swing, another good organization. He's in the trap, maybe. So he's a wealthy guy. He was trading the market. He did not know technical analysis. He was swinging around 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 share positions, and he was losing money time and time again. He did not know the definition of insanity. Going back to the well, trying the same act and losing over and over. He found us. He went out, he bought the course, he joined the Q&A, he did the boot camp. You know people, I met people who came to you, they got that taste of blood in the streets, and they said, oh my God, you can teach me. There are people who are never going to get it. They're going to be haters. They're going to go, I don't need your shit. Right, the haters. Screw the haters. And then they're going to people who get it. Wow, I can learn something that's going to change my life and my family. Well, thank you. Yeah. All I need is a thank you. Right. Don't send me a box of fruitcake from the Omaha. I don't need it. I just need a thank you that I changed your life. So we have people, Robert, he was on the Q&A on Thursday. He goes, hey, we did a webinar, and he went on to tell the 400 people that we were talking to for free on a free live emergency webinar after the market crash was, these people have changed my life. The first thing I want to teach you is to stop losing money.
Yep.
Most people out there trading are losing money. Yeah, I'm sure you've got your guys who have joined you but don't listen to you yet. Yeah. They haven't figured it out. They use 8%, 80% of their mind and 20% until they get the picture, they get the message, they have the spiritual awakening, right? And go, Oh, I don't have to lose money anymore. You'd be amazed at how many people just keep throwing good money after bad. It's like when you go out there and you buy something that's bad shit, right? The blue caps, the black caps, it's bad. You keep going back to the guy, same guy. Is it good this time? It's good. This time it's good. No.
Let me ask you this. Walk us through a day in the life of you. You talked about, I think it was Tuesday, when you guys had a good day while shorting. Right. So, like, for some perspective for people that's watching that may never know how the inside works, how a broker works on the inside, can you kind of walk us maybe that day that you was talking about?
Yeah. So I've been trading for actually I had a seat on the exchange for 34 years. I worked for a company in there called TradeMoss Securities. I work with my son, one of the greatest gifts in the world. He's 28 years old. That's just a joy, right? Family. We know family is the greatest thing in the world. I wake up in the morning and probably around 7:30. It's clear I probably have a couple of coffees, although I didn't have that many today. This is natural. 14 espressos. It's not a big deal. And then I take a nap. No. So I get up in the morning and I'm not a big... I try to avail myself of as much information that's out there. Actually, I use a wonderful newsletter called Exact Sum, which is an amazing thing. Yeah, it breaks down the market. A guy named Liquidity, right? Who's anonymous, by the way. He was one of the big disruptors during, but he's an amazing man. You started to ask me about what it was like sourcing, being above the edge back in the day. Now, you need to be above the edge even more. Yeah. You need to avail yourself of all the information. You don't trade proactively on it. You hear earnings are going to be good, you buy the stock. Mistake. You let the information come out and then you trade off technicals and price action. Okay? So in my day, I avail myself of what's going on in the market. Where was it trading overnight? I try to understand what's really coming out today. Economic news is super important. You go to Market Watch, you can source what economic information is coming out. PPI, CPI, CPE, all that's important. I don't react to it. I don't proactively trade in. I'm not an anticipatory trader. Yes. I let stuff come out because this market look, it's an amazing market. Like we said, earnings can be killer. Stock goes down $50. I don't know what the big guys are doing. I'm just a bozo on the bus here, trying to, make a little money and inspire and motivate people. So I get up in the morning, I get my stuff going. I sort of focus and center myself. I clean them, but I wear the same outfit every day. It gives me comfort. Yeah. Right, as in years back, I had a uniform. Now this is my post-COVID new uniform, right? I was going to wear it. I have my NFT. I have an NFT on the back. We'll talk about it later. So I have a uniform that gives me some sort of a spiritual strength in my day, and I know I'm about to embark. I know I'm about to embark on something special and good. That's one of my motivators. I know in my day, so I come down to the exchange, right? In the morning we get down there. I look at as a broker, I have access to order flow that comes into the New York Stock Exchange. Every broker down there has this information. I can track 3,800 stocks and see how many shares there are to buy and sell, or I can track the S&P 500, which is what I do. That's my sweet spot. And I will try and understand where the S&P is trading away and try and navigate a little bit of arbitrage to make a judgment call for a trade in the morning. Market opens, usually we sort of get a sense of where the market's going on the day, and then I start to go out and I do an Instagram live. I go out and try and inspire people to get into the market. I do some educational stuff. I'll get on a webinar with Florida State University, talk to 600 young students who are studying finance. I do all that kind of stuff, probably about 3 or 4 hours. And then at 1:30, I get back into the market. Okay? So at 1:30, I'm able to walk around the floor and find out what the interest is, public interest order flow, for the close. As I described to you, if I am an institution and I have 1 million shares to buy, in a market that goes up and down like this, I'm sure it's doing that while we're out here, I'll buy 200,000 in the opening, 400,000 in an algo from 10 to 2, and then I'll buy 400,000 on the close. I will get access to that information, not inside information, just information for what's going on the close, and I will track it. It's a little more complicated than we can figure out, talk about now. So then I spend the next 2 hours trying to predict what the market's going to do from 2 to 4. I'm a day trader. I'm in and out of the market my longest trade is 2 hours. That's just what I do now. It wasn't always the way I traded. That's what I've done now. That's where I find value for my customers. And then, so at 4 o'clock, I start getting into stocks, buying and shorting them from 2 o'clock to 3:50. We are on there. We have a team putting together a spreadsheet to try and analyze what's going on. And then at 4 o'clock, everything I bought, I sell. Everything I shorted, I buy. I close a business, I'm flat. Because I know holding a stock overnight is a dangerous thing in this market. And done for business. Then what do? I probably go and do an IG Live, speak to a couple thousand people. I do a live webinar to inspire some more people. And I do some Q&A to teach more people. That's my day.
So we actually witnessed something pretty rare today. We actually got to see a company IPO. And so I know that's something you've seen plenty of times throughout the 37 years. So what happens during an IPO, right? Because the company has a suggested price for the stock, but retail investors, they can't trade it until a certain time. So what's happening in between the time where the bell opens, the company's now IPO, to the point where retail investors can now invest?
Okay. So an IPO, right? Companies start, they have some value. They start, whether they start with they have their employees, they issue shares if it's a corporation, and they start doing what they do. Apple started in a garage, Microsoft as well. Other companies start, they grow, they start having value. They said, you know what? This is something, we have enough of a product or a company or something that we believe is of value to the public, and we'd like to bring it to the public to put their valuation and get involved on it. Right? In this room is 4,800 stocks. Home Depot, Cat Tractor, Snapchat, Twitter, Shake Shack, MSG. Everything that you consume, everything you're involved in on a day-to-day basis, things you consume, things you use, airlines you fly on, trains you take, they're all publicly traded companies. They started as an idea, they grew, came to here to be public over the last 100 and something years. Okay? So today, this is a company called Core Bridge Financial. It's a finance company. They've obviously spent the last 2 years deciding we want to come to market, we want to go public, we want to give the public an opportunity to invest in our story. They have a story to tell. Every company does. Whether it's a sneaker line, a computer company, or whatever they do, they have a story to tell. We're here to help them tell that story. Bringing the stock and the company to the public opens that, blows up that footprint. Right? It brings, and we talked about that, it brings the platform up to the next level. Like now you all will show your loyalty to me for using my product and being part of my, you're now part of my story. Everybody who owns a share of stock's part of that family. How cool is that? People don't understand that, right? That's why I say invest in stocks, not stuff. Yeah. You know what? If you're we're trying to build an app where you can, it's a roundup app where you go buy a Starbucks cup of coffee for $3.05. You round up to $4. Now we have a bunch of apps that, will send that 95 cents to the market. But what we wanted to try and do is send that 95 cents, buy yourself Starbucks stock. Mm-hmm. So that if you're a buyer of Starbucks, you want to have a piece of the game, skin in the game. Right? So that's kind of a fun idea. These guys went public today. I'm sure they haven't even opened yet. So they're bringing it to the market. Last night, they went around, over the last couple of months, they went on a road show. They told their story to the investment community. There were people interested. Some people weren't interested. Some people said, I'm interested. I don't get it yet. Some people said, when you go public, I want to buy in. Last night, they priced the stock at $21. Depending on the supply and demand within the investment community. They went to Wells Fargo, high wealth people. At this point, in the world of IPOs, the only people who get offered stock on the deal are kind of that super, not even the 1%, the 1% of the 1%. So those people were offered 80 million shares. They got their allocation this morning. They come here. We price the stock. Price discovery is one of the greatest things that the NYSE do better than NASDAQ, better than anyone, is the pricing mechanism of an IPO. An IPO is a company going public. We're basically building the CRBG building. We're laying the bricks. We're putting in the mortar. We want to build an amazing building. So where the stock opens today, and how it opens, and the price it opens, will affect the way it trades the rest of its life. If I use shoddy materials, and I use a shitty contractor, and I don't use the right kind of bricks, the building will fall, right? We know that in anything you do. Right? You buy cheap stuff. My mother always said, spend more on good suits, good shoes, look good, shine your shoes. Shine your shoes. Everyone looks at your shoes. Everyone looks at your shoes first.
The rumors are true.
Right? Tony's shoes. Shine every day. You can see yourself in his shoes. My mother said, shine. Everyone looks at your shoes.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks. So we're building the Core Bridge building today. They will price the stock and open it. where the supply and demand of interest comes in. There will be so a retail trader involved in an IPO will not be able to get it on the upside. They will get it when the spiral opens here in New York. My son is in there. We're going to be buying stock for a trade, hopefully, depending on where it opens. In what's called the secondary market. Right. The primary market is the inside market of the people who are allocated stock. That's sort of an elite that I'm not even a part of. All right, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. But if a retail trader likes a company, likes the story, and wants to get involved on the IPO, you can do that. You can call your broker or put in an order on the IPO. When it goes public here in New York, any retail trader can get involved.
This that Red Panda Anthem. Ian, what's up? This that Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem. Your boy going up. I know they can't stand it.